What do you think an essential worker is?
Someone who probably needs to get paid more.
Being a part of or assisting in making sure that the general population is staying safe.
People who put their lives on the line so we could have a better future.
People who are on the frontliners.
They technically help with every human need.
People we depend on the most in society.
An important worker, for example, a doctor.
Someone who risked their life during this pandemic doing a job in society that is required for people to live.
Someone that society depends on who is willing to take risks to help others that are in need.
Is someone who risks their life by working in a job during times of a pandemic.
Right now, I work at Wendy's as like pretty much doing everything.
How difficult is it to be an essential worker?
There's many essential worker jobs now. I mean, I think for my particular field, I would say, it's not that hard. Once you get used to it, it's not that hard. I mean,
What do you have to adjust to?
we've always been like cleaning the store, making sure everything's clean in the store, even before the pandemic. During the pandemic, it's just that much more important. You know, you want to make sure everything, all the food and stuff is clean. You're not getting anything contaminated. It's just that much more important, as it should be. I mean, the other thing we've had to adjust to is, we all have to wear a mask now, which before we didn't have to. Before the pandemic, we didn't have to. So it's kind of a new thing for us and stuff. But, a lot of people have had to get, used to that fact, and even wearing gloves and stuff. And, before that, of course, if you're making the sandwiches and stuff like that, you got to wear gloves. But before the pandemic, many of us didn't have to wear gloves. So, even that, like, it's just something that we have to learn to adjust to and stuff like that. Because when you don't wear the mask and gloves, customers, like, they'll see that. And some of them will even get, a little, like, mad, like, a little ticked off and stuff like that. Like, oh, why is he or she not wearing mask and gloves and stuff? So it's just, like, that much more important. And stuff we had to get used to. The other thing that we've had to get used to is the fact that even, like, before, like, early on during the pandemic, we had to shut down the dining room, where people can come in and stuff. So now it's only the drive-thru open and stuff. So people's hours got cut, and it affected a lot of people's jobs. So there was a lot of people who had to quit and find another job, or just quit that job entirely because their hours got cut, including mine and stuff. But yeah, those are just some of the things that we've had to adjust to.
How do you feel like working in such an environment?
I mean, we're in a relatively small store, so sometimes it's kind of hard for all of the employees to stay 6 feet apart. So there's that aspect. There's also an aspect that, like I said before, kind of earlier when I mentioned where wearing the mask and gloves is new and stuff. We've never really had to do that before. There's never been a time anywhere or any time where we've had to do that. So now that we've had to do it, it's an adjustment. It definitely is. It takes some getting used to, working an 8, 10 hours, even 12-hour shift with the mask on and gloves on the whole time. It's hard. It is hard and stuff. And then when you look at like people like nurses and doctors where they work 16, 20-hour shifts with the mask on, it can be annoying sometimes. And so when you're just going out your car to go to the store to pick something up, that probably takes like 5 minutes. So 5 minutes with your mask on, it's not that bad, but like working those long shifts, it can be hard and stressful. It's just the thing on your face, and it just, it's hard. Like I said before, we've all had to make adjustments, and it's just kind of what it is for now.
Do you ever feel unsafe working?
Sometimes when I deal with the customers, taking their money and kind of cashing them out and giving them their food, it definitely is a risk and stuff. There's no doubt about it. I try to stay as safe as I can. I always wash my hands, a lot of times throughout the day, and changing gloves and even changing my mask if I have to. But there definitely is still a risk and doing that. If I could, I would just stay home and stuff. You just kind of have to do what you got to do to, help the store and whatever, and, help other people.
What precautions does the company take to make you feel safer?
So the company, I know because when you first apply, you got like this whole online thing you have to do. So like you got to answer all these questions online. It's a whole process and stuff. I saw that the company, they sent out another link to like all of the employees, all the Wendy's employees, and like it's like a training basically, like an online training. And I saw it's like a coronavirus kind of thing where they're trying to it's a video about, like make sure you guys are wearing your mask, make sure you guys are wearing your gloves, not contaminating the food, So so as a company, like I saw that like, they're doing that. And like they're posting like flyers around the store, just telling people to keep their masks and gloves on at all times.
How has COVID affected you personally?
I mean, it started while we were in school and stuff, and so just the fact that I'm a senior, and so we don't really have our typical graduation. I mean, I know the school is planning something, but just the fact that we don't have the typical annual graduation that every graduating class has. I mean, I'd say that's affected me, and the fact that like we don't really get to say goodbye to like all the rest of our friends in high school. There's that, and just not like all the teachers and thing. I would say like that's probably the biggest thing, how it's affected me personally, me and like many other students. It's like pretty much the whole high school, but especially the graduating class of 2020. It's all across the country. I'd say that's probably the biggest thing. Just kind of like missing out on our typical graduation, senior cookouts, prom, just like things among that. It's really taken a toll on some people. So a lot of people really look forward to those things, including myself. And it's just, hard to miss out on some of those things.
What college are you going to attend?
I'm going to go to University of Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania, and I'm pursuing a nursing degree there.
What are your plans after college?
Well, after college, so I'm going to I'm majoring in nursing. I got a full ride for that. And so after I graduate, I'm going to be a nurse at the hospital over at Pittsburgh for a few years, and then after that, I plan to eventually be a nurse practitioner, and then eventually a physician's assistant.
What are you passionate about?
I'm passionate about a lot of things. I'm passionate about like social justice issues, especially within like the Black community and stuff like that. I'm passionate about reading. I'm passionate about education, schooling. Working out, wrestling, and cross country.
How did you develop an interest in social justice?
Well, I mean, my dad especially has always been on me and my siblings about educating ourselves and about our history and stuff like that. And once I was exposed to that and experienced to that, it just got me interested in the social justice issue.
Do you think things are ever going to go back to normal?
Yes, I do. I think it will take some time, as do all things, but I do think eventually things will get back to normal. If you look through our history and stuff, there have been pandemics, and sometimes it takes a while to get used to, but we always get through it. I feel like people think, people look at it now. The last pandemic we had was so long ago, where it's like no one was alive back then, and so it's just kind of a new thing for us, and it's something that we've had to adjust to and get used to. So I think it will eventually go away, but it will take time. It'll take cooperation. It'll take all of us to kind of like power through this thing.
Good morning and welcome to Essential 10 News at 10. Today is Friday, July 24th, 2020. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Now let's get right into the news.
Essential News, where the tea we spill is always hot. It is A to the N to the double D, Andrew coming to your life. And we are here to talk to you about the entanglement between Jada and... Wrong story? Not this one? Wrong story. Oh, my bad. I'm really sorry for the inconvenience. That we will not be talking about that today. I'm actually here to talk to you about our very own essential workers. We'll dive deep into what it means to be an essential worker in COVID-19. We'll also be talking about how teens are impacting negatively and positively due to COVID-19. If you're an essential worker, I guarantee this will be for you. Enough of me though. I'll be passing it to our weather girl, Aamaya, where the weather on her side is always fresh.
Hey guys, it's Aamaya. The drippiest one is back. But this time I'm not here to show you guys my shoes. I'm here to tell you guys the weather. So as you guys can see, it's, sun is busting. Clearly I got my sunglasses on. Essential workers, it's really humid and hot. So be careful on what you wear, but also don't be too comfortable, because inside the hospital or inside the school, wherever you work, it is cold. So, you guys are going to need a couple sunglasses, you feel me? Type drip, a little drip, not too much, because you don't. And then the mask. The mask is the most important thing that you're going to need. But, enjoy the weather, but also don't forget to wear your mask.
We rolling? Thank you, Aamaya, for such a very drippy weather report. We'll be passing on to Natasha.
No, we're live right now. I'll talk to you later. Hi guys, I'm Natasha from Channel 10 News, reporting live from Lincoln Park in Malden, Massachusetts. Today we are here to talk about how people are not social distancing. That's why I have my mask. Take a look for yourself. As you guys can see, people are not social distancing. Stay safe, guys.
Are we rolling? Oh, goodness. Thank you, Natasha, for such a live footage of what quarantine is doing to our youth today. We'll be passing it to Jonathan, where he will be interviewing our essential workers.
Good morning. Channel 10 News reporting here. Today we have a special guest, Matt Harvey, a science teacher at Boston Land Academy. Today we'll be asking Matt a few questions about life as a teacher. Matt, do you see yourself as an essential worker?
Thanks for having me. I do see myself as an essential worker. Being a teacher is not in the traditional sense of the word now. I'm not directly in front of my students, but teaching as a profession is definitely an essential role. So, yes, I would consider myself an essential worker.
But to my understanding, an essential worker is like on the front lines out there.
Right, as I stated, I'm not exactly in front of all my students, physically speaking, but the workload has not changed. Even though we are virtual, the amount of work that is being done to accommodate students, I would classify as definitely an essential function, especially now that federal funding might be withheld due to this this presidency, and our cabinet member, Mr. Voss, saying that we must be fully back in school as though there isn't a global pandemic. But yeah.
Yes, I do agree with you. You do bring up a very good point. Well, what are the struggles of being an essential worker during Corona? Because I know many people didn't work for a while, didn't do much, but you essential workers had no breaks and we're still hard at it.
Aside from the stress of just the general atmosphere of what's going on societally, socially, and of course with the science around coronavirus, being an essential worker during this time is stressful only because, to me, I have a small child and one on the way, and the potential for school to be physically present just ups the risk of passing on the disease. I was reading in the news this morning that from ages 10 to 19, people can pass on coronavirus just as easily as the people who are in their 60s, right? So some of the stresses, aside from the economic stress of just being worried about paychecks and things like that, are the just the scientific aspect, right? The biological aspect that people seem to forget about when they think about this disease.
Yes, I agree with you. There are a lot of problems that system does create. Hopefully a cure is found sooner rather than later, and we can all get back to our normal lives by winter or fall. It seems all the time we have today. Thank you for being on the show, Matt. We really appreciate your insight. You were great. And Andrew, I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you, Jonathan, for such an amazing interview. We'll be passing it on to Jay with live coverage in New York.
Hello,
Jay?
guys. It's Jana coming live from New York. As you see, me and my team have collected footage of how New Yorkers are social distancing. And you guessed it, they're not. People are having fun, shopping, dining. It's as if nothing ever happened here. And it's hard to believe that New York was #1 with the most COVID cases in America. On that note, if you're traveling, going from place to place, make sure you have wet wipes. Comes in handy when you want to wipe anything. Extra mask. You never know when you're going to drop your mask by accident down a puddle. It happened to me before. And, of course, the most obvious tool that you're going to need, hand sanitizer. Let that go in there. It's going to take away, at least this bottle says 99.99 of germs. I don't know why it's never 100. But that will be all for today. Make sure you're comfortable, safe, and having fun like these New Yorkers are. Back to you, Andrew.
Thank you for tuning into Essential News. I hope the tea was hot enough for you. Tune in for our next segment where we dive deep into Jada and Will Smith's entanglement.
Still not covering that.
We're still not doing that?
Nope.
Yo, cut.
Okay, guys, so here we are. This has been a wonderful experience working with you all. Thank you, mentors. Thank you, students. The films you created were just fantastic. And, I really hope that your impression of what it means to be an essential worker, really changed throughout this workshop, because my view certainly did. So, I'd like you to just to continue thinking about that. And, I wish you all the best, and good luck with your future endeavors. Okay, guys, take care. Bye-bye.
My view has definitely changed. Essential workers are not only important people, but they're people who change lives and support us whenever we are in times of need.
Oh, I didn't see you guys there. But while you guys are here, I want to get something off my chest. I've come to the realization that essential workers are selfless people who come in all forms.
Throughout this program, I learned that an essential worker is actually a group of people who actually are really impacting our lives that we may not actually know who they are. And we also learned that it's actually a wide variety of people. Like little day people, like our mailman's giving us our mails every single day, or like our teachers teaching us still during quarantine.
Working at this program has taught me that essential workers are the backbone of society.
My impression of essential workers has changed by doing this workshop, by speaking to them and learning how difficult it can really be.
I think an essential worker is anyone that is willing to help others that are in need.
Essential workers are the ones who are fighting for us so society could go back to normal.
My view about essential workers hasn't really changed, I believe. Essential workers aren't just people who just help out around. They are workers risking their lives during this pandemic so that we could survive.
Oh, I didn't see you guys there. Working here, I haven't really changed my mind of what essential workers are. It always stays the same. I think essential workers are very important and we need them.
Oh, hey there. I think an essential worker are people that had to work through the global pandemic. That's what I think an essential worker is.
Teachers are absolutely essential workers.
This program has taught me that an essential worker is really defined by what you find essential. But all this talk of essential workers has given me an idea.